Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Louis Carlin. We're here right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you're watching for the first time, you don't subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Got a lot of great content, a lot of really good interviews on there. One with Larry Zbyszko, which I conducted recently. We have other interviews on there as well, and we have a lot more coming, a lot more content. So if you like what you're watching, check out some other content. And if you enjoy the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And I'd like to give a shout out to one of our most recent subscribers. I promised I would give this person a shout out. Isaacor Liberty. Isaacor Liberty. Thank you so much for subscribing to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel. Isaacor Liberty, thank you very, very much. Okay, so let's get into it. Talk about the news. AEW bringing in the big names. We have Malachi Black, Christian Cage, most recently CM Punk, of course, Bryan Danielson, and Adam Cole, Ruby Soho. Lots of big names coming in to Andrade. Lots of big names coming into AEW, All Elite Wrestling. And there's one more big name that's getting closer and closer and closer to an AEW arrival. And I'm talking about Bray Wyatt. According to Ringside News has learned unless things change, the current working plan is for Bray Wyatt to debut for AEW. He's still under his 90-day non-compete clause, but we're told by a source that they have already begun contract talks. No contract can be offered until his 90-day non-compete clause is up. His non-compete won't expire until the end of October, but AEW Full Gear is right around the corner. As Ringside News reported, the company moved the date to November 13th, and a new venue has yet to be announced. Bray Wyatt could offer a lot to AEW, and there's also some obvious connections within the company as well. Many fans are already making memes about Wyatt's impending arrival, especially CM Punk, Ruby Soho, Adam Cole, and especially after CM Punk, Ruby Soho, Adam Cole, and Bryan Danielson ended up in the company, Tony Khan's company. So looks like Bray Wyatt, as each day goes by, it's getting one day closer to Bray Wyatt arriving in AEW. I know Impact Wrestling was really interested, and I'm sure they're still interested. I'm sure they're going to offer a contract. They're going to offer Bray Wyatt the world, I'm sure, Impact Wrestling, but gut feeling is Bray Wyatt will be, in fact, joining AEW once his non-compete is over at the end of October. I think Bray Wyatt might be the last big name that they bring in, because they're bringing in a lot of big names. They're throwing out they're throwing a lot of money at a lot of people, a lot of talent to bring them in. So I'm thinking Bray Wyatt's going to be the last big name for a while that AEW brings in. I could be wrong. there are a number of NXT stars out there as well that they could bring in for probably a lot less money. But I think Bray Wyatt's going to be the last big name that they bring in for a while. That's just how I'm feeling. Again, I could be wrong. I don't know how much money the Khans have allotted to AEW, but I'm feeling that Bray Wyatt will be the last big name. And they have Braun Strowman out there as well. And you're thinking, is Bray Wyatt going to bring Braun Strowman? Are they going to reunite together in AEW? That's a possibility. But I know Impact Wrestling, they need to make a big splash. And I have a feeling Bray Wyatt will end up in AEW. And while he ends up in AEW, I have a feeling. I have a feeling. I think Buddy Murphy's as good as. I think Buddy Murphy has already signed that Impact Wrestling contract. So I think there's 100% chance we're going to see Buddy Murphy in Impact Wrestling. But I also have a feeling. I also have this feeling deep down in my gut, and I could be wrong, but I just have that feeling that Braun Strowman is going to sign with Impact Wrestling. That's just how I'm feeling. A lot of big names going to AEW, and Braun Strowman goes there. If he goes in there with Bray Wyatt, they might create some noise in the beginning. But I don't know. I think Braun Strowman. He's not going to be at the top of he's not going to be at the top of the top guy in the promotion. He won't be there. If he goes to Impact Wrestling, he's without a doubt will be the top guy in the promotion immediately. So that's why I'm thinking, in Impact Wrestling, they need to make a big splash. And that's why I'm thinking Braun Strowman is going to end up in Impact Wrestling. Again, call me crazy. A lot of people disagree with me, but that's just the way I'm feeling. But back to Bray Wyatt. As Impact Wrestling might be interested, it does look like that Bray Wyatt will be ending up with AEW. Again, Tony Khan throwing out the money, throwing the money toward to get these big names in, and it seems to be working. AEW, as I did on my last, as I mentioned on my last podcast, they are definitely now competition for the WWE, and I think Bray Wyatt would definitely add, would definitely add to what AEW is trying to accomplish, and that's beating WWE in the ratings, and which I feel they're going to do in the next 3-4 months. Not 3, let's say 5-6 months. I believe that AEW will have higher ratings, viewership ratings than the WWE. That's my prediction here. So we'll see if I'm right in 6 months. But yeah, man, lots of big names coming to AEW. They're not messing around. AEW means business for sure. Okay, so Ring of Honor. Do I have that up here? Ring of Honor. Here we go. So Ring of Honor, they are actually bringing in 2 former NXT stars to face each other at Death Before Dishonor. WrestleZone.com says Ring of Honor has been hyping up a match at Death Before Dishonor between 2 wrestlers who were recently released by another promotion, and the company has revealed the identities of these competitors on the newest episode of Ring of Honor Week by Week. Former NXT stars Jake Atlas and Taylor Rust were named as the 2 opponents. Both men were released by the WWE on August 6th during a wave of cuts. At the time, they were both members of the NXT roster. Taylor, then known as Rust Taylor, competing in the Ring of Honor Pure Championship tournament in the fall of 2020. Since Atlas's release, he has been taking bookings, and he was recently announced for New Japan Pro Wrestling's New Japan Showdown on October 16th and 17th. So here's the updated card. Here, actually, we got the updated card here for Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. It's Lee Moriarty, LSG, and John Walters versus Violence Unlimited. The Briscoes versus Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Dalton Castle versus Eli Isom. Ring of Honor 6-man championship. Shane Taylor Promotions. Shane Taylor, Khan, and Moses versus La Bestia del Ring, Dragon Lee, and Kenny King. Ring of Honor World Championship. The champion Bandito defending against EC3, Brody King, and Demonic Flamita, which should be just a spectacular match, man. And then the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. John Gresham, the champion, defends against Josh Woods. Ring of Honor World Championship Tournament Final. Roxy versus Miranda Elise. Jake Atlas, as I mentioned, versus Taylor Rust, and Honor Rumble will be in Honor Hour 1. So Ring of Honor bringing in some former NXT stars, Jake Atlas and Taylor Rust, to do a battle at Death Before Dishonor. This show is actually on, is there a date for the show here? They didn't list a date, but it should be a really, really good show. I'm actually just starting to get back into Ring of Honor. I used to be a big Ring of Honor fan, but I'm just starting to get back into it now. So maybe down the line, maybe in the future, we'll have some more Ring of Honor updates here on Shooting Up North. But it's very interesting, very cool that they're bringing in former NXT stars to compete at Death Before Dishonor. And last but not least, MLW. I got right here, I got the press release. Let me just find it. Press release here. Press release from MLW, Major League Wrestling. Fusion Alpha premieres Wednesday, September 22nd. This fall, Major League Wrestling will present a new series, MLW Fusion Alpha, premiering Wednesday, September 22nd at 7 p.m. on MLW's YouTube channel, which is great news, and Saturday and Mondays on beIN Sports, featuring big matches, interpromotional clashes, shocking alliances, and a new matchmaker in the form of Cesar Duran. Fusion Alpha finds Major League Wrestling in the midst of a wrestling war with rage, jumps, and the fear of invasion. Will the league be shattered? Who can be trusted? Who can be trusted? Oh, that's so deep. I like how they ended up. Will a league be shattered? Who can be trusted? Tune in each and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for MLW Fusion Alpha. So a new show, Fusion Alpha. Looking forward to it. We haven't seen any since Battle Riot 3. We haven't seen any new content from MLW. I believe this Alpha show was supposed to debut last month, but not sure what the delay was. But they made the announcement September 22nd. Fusion Alpha debuts. So looking forward to that. And because I need my MLW fix, man. I need my MLW fix. MLW, great promotion. And I'm very excited when I saw this press release. And I'm looking forward to Wednesday, September 22nd, when MLW Fusion Alpha premieres on YouTube and BN Sports. And on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much for listening to me again today. I'm Lewis Carlin. Again, if you don't subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It can also be found on Facebook, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network on Facebook, and you can find me on Twitter at Shooting Up North. So until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. And stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.